Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Gadir Abbas. I'm an attorney with the Council on American Islamic Relations. I'm here today with Rasmi Hassouna and John Floyd to announce the filing of a lawsuit against the city of Houston and the state of Texas for demanding that Rasmi and his company promise allegiance to a foreign country, to Israel, on pain of not receiving a contract from the city of Houston. With me today is the owner and executive vice president of A&R Engineering, Rasmi. Can we get him on screen?
Yes.
Rasmi is here with us, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what happened and why he's filing this lawsuit.
Yes, sir. My name is Rasmi Hassouna. A few weeks ago, I received a renewal contract with the city of Houston. And to my surprise, going through the contract, that basically they want me to commit not to boycott Israel or any products of Israel. And right when I saw that, it's like brought a lot of memories in my mind. See, back in 1988, when I came to the United States, I was living in the Gaza Strip. When I got my visa to come to the United States, it took me 2 months to get a permit from the Israeli intelligence to leave the country. And every day I had to go to their headquarters. They take my ID and keep me for 7 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. Then they give me my ID and tell me come back tomorrow. And I did that for 2 months. And finally, when they give me a permit, the night of I was supposed to be going to the airport, it happened that they put a curfew in the area where I was living. I had to leave the house with my luggage in my bag and walk for more than 6 miles, and till I got out of the curfew zone and take a taxi cab to the airport and come to the United States. I came to the United States. I got my college degree, got my master's degree in civil engineering. Came to Texas in 1992. I worked for different companies. Then I started my own business in 1999, A&R Engineering and Testing, Inc. And I've been doing work with the city of Houston for more than 17, 18 years. I never got these kind of things. And I believe in liberty and freedom, and I've been living in Texas free and thinking that nobody can enforce anything on me. When I saw that statement, it contradicts everything I believed about this country, about Texas, about United States, about everything. It's like, this is not what I always believed.
Why did you decide not to sign the contract, Rasmi?
It comes when I saw that statement. My family came in front of my face. I have brothers, I have sisters, I have nephews and nieces living back in Gaza. Just a few months ago, they were under attack from the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. And you just watch the news, and so many kids, children were killed, and babies. You know, something, Gadir, is, I just hope nobody would shove in my face saying something of anti-Semitic, being anti-Semitic, because I am more Semitic than 90% of the Israeli people. Nobody can ever tell me that. I don't have problem with Jews or Muslims or Hindus. That's not the issue here. The issue is my liberty, my freedom. If I wanted to boycott Walmart, why would anybody come and tell me you cannot do that? If I wanted to boycott Canada, I thought that's my personal freedom, and nobody can tell me this is what you can do and this is what you cannot do. That's not what freedom all about.
And that's what this lawsuit is aimed at accomplishing. Like other challenges to anti-BDS laws in Texas and across the country, these lawsuits are aimed at reinvigorating the First Amendment. Rasmi is doing this for himself, and he's doing it for all Americans who believe that the First Amendment right to boycott, to express yourself through political activity done in concert with others, is central to the First Amendment. For a little bit more of the policy and legal context, I'm going to introduce John Floyd, a prominent attorney in the area and chairman of CAIR Texas Houston. John, thanks for doing this and leading the charge. Tell us a little bit about this law and what's going on here.
Assalamu alaikum. Before I begin that, I want to send my appreciation and thanks to Brother Rasmi for being willing to stand up against this unconstitutional law. He is actually putting, his money, where his mouth is when he does this. There is a lot of people who believe in the First Amendment. I'm sure there are Muslims. There are other people who have seen this very same provision, but because the state focuses on the business's bottom line, their profits, they have just either ignored it and signed it, or they've not done anything about it. So, Brother Rasmi, truly appreciate your willingness to do this and to take this stand. Gadir, as you said earlier, the principle of boycott is enshrined in our First Amendment, our freedom of expression, our freedom to redress our grievances against the government. In fact, our country was founded on the ability to boycott, going all the way back to the Boston Tea Party, right? There's been this sort of protest from the foundations of this country, going up through the Civil Rights era. We had significant legislation which even further protected the right to boycott. So the fact that the state of Texas would put in a piece of legislation which was intended to support the state of Israel and prohibit free speech, boycotting, protesting the state of Israel is just fundamentally unconstitutional. As you said earlier, there are companies that are boycotting the state of Texas, right? Standing on their constitutionally guaranteed rights because of things that are going on in this state, because of legislation that's going on in this state. And they're completely free to do this. As Rasmi was saying earlier, we can boycott a store, we can boycott a state, but we can't boycott the state of Israel. This is just an abhorrent attack on our First Amendment rights in the name of cozying up to the state of Israel.
And what's, I think, most remarkable about this law, which was struck down, an earlier version of it was struck down just very recently by Judge Pittman in Austin. But we don't ask state contractors in Texas to pledge of allegiance to the United States of America.
That's right.
We're asking state contractors to pledge of allegiance to Israel. And that is illegal. And it's a really unprecedented deviation from a couple hundred years where we haven't done such extreme things. And that's why CAIR has filed for emergency relief, seeking the intervention of the federal court in Houston on an emergency basis to get this law struck down as quickly as possible to ensure that Houston doesn't issue the contract to somebody else. And ultimately, what's another important characteristic, how many people, we're talking with Rasmi here, who saw a contract that had a 6-figure yearly value for his company.
Right.
And he walked away from it. That's remarkable and exceptional. And Jazakallah khair on behalf of the Muslim community and all of us at CAIR and those that believe in protecting the First Amendment. But how many people have not done that? How many people have seen a contract that asks them to pledge allegiance to Israel and have signed that contract?
Right.
This lawsuit is for them as well. For those folks that don't have the courage that Rasmi has to stand up against his own financial interests and for the First Amendment.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us. We're putting the emergency motion in the comments. Please reach out to Gadir, myself, or John, another attorney on the case, if you have any questions for Rasmi. We'll keep everybody posted, but this is the latest front on of the battle against these anti-BDS laws, and inshallah we'll be successful.
Inshallah.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam.